Hello LEGO friends, and welcome to this update from the LEGO room. And in this video I will give you an update on where we've got to with the Hoth build. So there are probably two bits I need to cover. One is this, which is the mountain, and we'll take a good look at the detail of that in a bit, and that we have laid out all of the boards, which really shows the size of Hoth, how big it's going to be. And when I first laid them out, I was a bit like, eek, this is big. What have I got myself into here? But of course, with all big problems and challenges in life, you break them down into little pieces to make them much more manageable. My OCD is kicking in a little bit because I'd love to have the boards all the same colour, but unfortunately I didn't have enough grey boards, so we've got some greens, blues and whites in. The whole thing is 146 studs along this way and 208 studs for the depth. So that's a lot of Lego. It's taken me a long time to build each component part, as I knew it would, and it's still great fun. But I still got a lot to do. So hopefully I'll be able to find more time than I have been to build Lego. So this is the mountain. So I always intended to build a mountain for the command bridge to sit on. You might have seen the command bridge video that I did a few weeks back. So the idea is that Admiral Akbar can command the Hoth base from here and see exactly what's going on. He'll be able to overlook all the activity going on in the base and see what may be attacking the base through the big doors. So really pleased with how that bit's turned out. The command bridge is not stuck in. I can lift it off, and I'll show you that in a bit. The way that I've got it structured underneath, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. I'm kind of in the middle, and you'll see why when I show that to you in a bit. Some other features that we've got on this mountain. This bit here is pretty cool. So we've got, just kneeling down, we've got a cave with Hoth Wampa. I feel a bit sorry for Hoth Wampa because obviously he was here before the rebels came along, so it's a bit of a shame that they captured him, but they have been feeding him. It looks like one of the stormtroopers perhaps didn't fare so well and has been fed to Hoth Wampa, and I think they are planning to release him when they vacate the base, or maybe if the Empire attacks they'll set him on the Empire troops, who knows. But this gate here and the way it moves up and down, that came from the old Return of the Jedi Rancor set that went with Jabba's palace. So I borrowed that technique, and I've had this lying around for years, so I was really pleased to get another use for it. The mountain, not quite stuck down there. So the mountain is built up as a diagonal with strengthening structure in the background. It's not finished this, so I'm not entirely happy with this area. It needs a lot more detail. It's a little bit makeshift at the moment, but I was keen to get it up so that I could really see how the base was panning out, and then I'm really eager to move on to the next part of the base, which I'll tell you about. These snow speeders are quite interesting. So they are from different sets. The one on the left is from set 8089, which is the one Hoth Wampa comes with. And I forget the set number for this one, but it's the Battle of Hoth set. Identical models, the only difference is the colour scheme. I prefer the old-fashioned one, the one on the left, but they're both pretty cool. And for this area, for a long while I didn't know what to do with it. I came up with the idea of having perhaps some kind of computer room, more gadgets and gizmos for the rebels to be powering the base. GJ Bricks, you suggested that I do a Droid Factory, and I may still incorporate that into Hoth. Mrs. Lego Room, she said, why don't you just sell all the Lego so I can turn this room into a guest bedroom? So I ignored her. And eventually I thought I'd try and incorporate snow speeders into the base. My original plans when I started this was to use the UCS snow speeder, but it's so big compared to the Falcon that I've gone for the standard snow speeders, and these are almost the perfect size. So even if you look at the movie, you will see the snow speeders are very tiny compared to the UCS Millennium Falcon, so that's why I went for those. This is from the Battle of Hoth set. This is an iron cannon. I know it's an iron cannon that typically would be outside shooting, but Here it's some form of communications post along with this little gadget here which can monitor what's going on around the cage. And these would obviously be the levers to open or close poor old Hoth Whomper in. Okay, so I just pan around the front. So lots of dark stone greys, lots of whites. A bit like I've done before, I've used tiles to smooth everything in. I think it looks pretty neat. There are some great mountains on YouTube where people have used sort of only slopes and they look amazing. I would love to do that, but I didn't have enough slopes, and when I was kind of costing up what to get from Bricklink, I had to make some compromises. I built the snow so that it kind of goes up the side of the base. This is the snow breaking through into the command centre, because Hoth will always win. Remember, the rebels are coming into this terrain, natural habitat, and they are building into it, so they are the strangers to Hoth. And this section here is obviously not complete, so there will be walkways and or stairwells going down to what will be the medical centre here, which is the bit I'm going to build next. Right, I'm just going to show you how this lifts out and what's underneath. There we go. So it just lifts out. And I very carefully place it down because I don't want to drop it, which I have done. And it took a long time to rebuild it. So there we go, that's the command centre. This, by the way, is my very advanced camera holder. I guess everyone else knows this too, but the gap in between two pieces of Lego, i.e. 1 side wide, is the perfect gap for an iPhone. So that's what I'm filming on right now. And yeah, so here we go. So this is how I support the command centre. In the past, I may have built out lots of towers and actually stuck the things like the command centre down to support it, but I didn't want to stick it down this time, and I'm really low on bricks at the moment, so this is quite handy. So as you can see, I'm simply putting the plates in on the side, pressing them down, and it forms a nice flat and strong platform that holds quite a lot of weight and means that whatever you're putting on it does not stick down. So that's really good. It is a bit odd. Some people might not like it, but it works for me. And then, oh, this is so horrible. I'm almost embarrassed to show you this, but I've not really tidied this up. So it's not that structurally sound. There's a lot of gaps that aren't visible when you look at it at the front as the viewer. But as I mentioned, I am going to do some more work on this whole area just to put a bit more detail in it. At that point, I'll also look at all the background stuff as well and make sure that's better. There we go, safely back in. One more thing to point out is I can still access the controller, whatever we want to call it, for Admiral Akbar, so he can do his movements. I wasn't quite sure what that would look like once I got the mountain being made, but there we go, nice and easy. Right, I think we're just about done. So as I mentioned, the next part I'm going to look at is here. So this corner will be filled with a medical centre. It will be based on this set, which is the official medical centre. Me being me and always needing to do things bigger, I've actually got, oh, there's 2 box ones. I've got another 2 loose ones that I bought from eBay. Really cost effective to buy them without the figures. So I'll be combining 3 or 4 of these sets to make a giant medical chamber, which will be the next part of my build. So thank you as always for watching. It's a pleasure to build this. It's a pleasure to have you along for my journey. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for me, and hopefully you will enjoy the next video. And anything you want to say about this, any questions you've got, just leave me a comment and I will respond. Thanks everyone, bye bye.